The more things change, the more they stay the same. So suggests a story in this week's Museum of Curiosity on Radio 4. Map expert Edward Brooke-Hitching assures us that the seemingly modern scourge of misinformation and kleptocratic strongmen is no new thing.
Edward, what would you like to donate?
So I actually brought it with me. It's this land grant for 60 acres of South American land, territory. This is from 1822. And the only problem with it is the signature of the vendor, and not because it isn't genuine, but because it is, because of who the man was. And he's not a household name, which is astonishing because he pulled off the greatest financial scam at that time ever, and still one of the largest. He raked in more than $1 billion of our modern pounds. So his name was Sir Gregor MacGregor. And he was famous in London from dispatch of his fighting in the Venezuelan War of Independence. And so when this famous Scottish soldier turned up in London and said, "I've been given 8 million acres by the king of the Mosquito Coast for my own country. I'm calling it Poyais. I'm seeking investment. You can buy stock." And it was a heck of a country because he circulated pamphlets describing this paradise of rivers teeming with fish and unexploited gold mines and fields that could be cultivated by European expertise. And so just for a mere couple of shillings and threepence, you could buy an acre of paradise territory. So you've probably guessed, right, where this is going. There was no 8 million acres. There was no country. He'd invented the whole thing in a scam that took years of planning, and he fooled just about everyone. And that's where this story could have ended. But he took it one giant, lethal step further. He hired a ship in London, and he sold tickets to 270 colonists. And they sailed off to the coordinates that he gave them. They traveled across the Atlantic, and they landed at their destination, this barren stretch of Honduran coastline. And there was no Poyais welcoming party, but, they hadn't bought a return ticket, so they set up camp on the beach and waited. And just when they're at the lowest, a ship appears on the horizon and takes them back to London. But under 50 people of the 270 made it back to London alive. And what's so amazing is that when they returned, they defended MacGregor. So I think it's something that should be donated to the museum as a kind of cautionary tale that things like fake news, there's nothing new about it, that there are these people who run on that kind of rocket fuel of twisted imagination.